Hello, students. My name is Professor Akan Basi, your lecturer for the course Philosophical and Ethical Foundations. This course will be running for 13 weeks every Friday. Okay, but before I present the course, the topic for today, let us look at the course description. This course provides an in-depth study of the philosophical and ethical foundations of Christian thought and practice. It explores key philosophical traditions, ethical theories, and their implications for Christian theology, ministry, and leadership. The course examines how philosophy shapes theological discourse and ethical decision making within the church and society. The course objectives. By the end of this course, students should be able to understand major philosophical traditions and their influence on Christian theology. 2. Analyze key ethical theories and their application in ministry and leadership. 3. Evaluate the relationship between faith, reason, and morality. 4. Apply biblical and physical principles in ethical decision making. 5. Engage in theological discussions with a critical and ethical perspectives. I'm going to also present the topics for each weeks for 13 weeks. The first week is Introduction to Philosophy and Ethics. Week 2, Ancient Philosophical Foundations. Week 3, Christian Philosophy in Early Church Thoughts. Week 4, Ethics in the Reformation and Enlightenment. Week 5, Biblical Foundations of Christian Ethics. Week 6, Moral Theories and Christian Ethics. Week 7, Ethics in Ministry and Leadership. Week 8, Contemporary Ethical Issues in the Church. Week 9, Christian Social Ethics and Justice. Week 10, Business and Economic Ethics in Christianity. Week 11, Political Ethics and the Church. Week 12, Ethics of Evangelism and Missions. Week 13, Synthesis and Application of Ethical Principles. And our grading and assessment is weekly assignment is 30%, midterm exams is 20%, research paper on philosophical or ethical topic is 30%, then final reflection paper is 20%. Okay. Now, as we end this, we are going to start the topic that we have for today, Introduction to Philosophy and Ethics. Dear students, this is week 1. The topic we have is Introduction to Philosophy and Ethics. My name is Professor Akan Basi. First of all, we have to look into definition of philosophy and ethics. What is philosophy and ethics? Let us first consider philosophy. Philosophy is the study of fundamental questions concerning existence, knowledge, values, reason, and the nature of reality. It seeks to understand the principles that govern human thoughts, behavior, and the universe as a whole. The word philosophy originates from the Greek words philo, which is love, and sophia, which is wisdom, meaning the love of wisdom. Now, ethics, on the other hand, is a branch of philosophy that deals with moral principles guiding human actions in terms of what is right and wrong. Ethics explores how individuals and societies determine their values and how those values influence decisions making. In Christianity, philosophy and ethics play a crucial role in shaping moral behavior, theological reflection, and the believer's approach to life and ministry. Let's look at the relationship between philosophy, theology, and ethics. Philosophy, theology, and ethics are deeply interconnected. Theology, the study of God and divine truth, often incorporates philosophical reasoning to explain and defend Christian beliefs. For example, Christian apologists like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas use philosophical principles to articulate and defend Christian doctrine. Ethics, as a discipline, applies philosophical and theological insights to moral living, ensuring that beliefs translate into righteous actions. While philosophy seeks wisdom, theology seeks divine truth, and ethics applies this truth to practical life. In ministry, a sound understanding of these three fields helps Christian leaders navigate moral dilemmas and defend the faith intellectually. Let us look at biblical perspectives on philosophy and ethics. The Bible acknowledges the importance of wisdom and ethical living, emphasizing that true wisdom comes from God. Proverbs 9, verse 10 states, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." However, Scripture also warns against deceptive philosophies that contradict God's truth. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8 cautions believers, "See to it that no one takes you captive through hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition and the elemental spiritual forces of this world rather than on Christ." Christian ethics is rooted in biblical principles such as the Ten Commandments, the teachings of Jesus, example, the Sermon on the Mount, and the apostolic exhortations on righteous living. Unlike secular ethics, which may be subjective, Christian ethics is based on absolute moral truth revealed by God. Let us look at key questions in philosophy and ethics. Philosophy and ethics seek to answer fundamental questions about life and morality. Some key philosophical questions include: what is truth? Does God exist? What is the purpose of life? How do we know what is real? Ethics, on the other hand, asks questions like: what is right and wrong? How should we treat others? What are the moral obligations of a Christian leader? These questions are essential for developing a sound worldview and making informed moral decisions. Understanding these fundamental issues equips Christians to engage with contemporary ethical challenges in ministry, politics, business, and daily life. In conclusion of this topic, introduction to philosophy and ethics. In conclusion, a proper grasp of philosophy and ethics is essential for Christian leaders and believers. While philosophy helps in developing a coherent understanding of reality and truth, ethics ensures that believers live according to God's standards. Both disciplines, when guided by scripture, enhance theological reflection, decision making, and the defense of the Christian faith. As students of theology and ministry, engaging with these fields will provide a deep appreciation of God's truth and equip you to respond wisely to moral and intellectual challenges. Assignment for the end of this very course: Introduction to Philosophy and Ethics. The assignment you have to take home is number one: define philosophy and ethics in your own words. How do they relate to Christian ministry? Number two, read Colossians chapter 2, verse 8 and Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. How do these verses shape a Christian approach to philosophy? Number three, identify a contemporary ethical issue in the church and briefly explain how biblical principles should guide a response. So, make this assignment. You type it. Use either a Microsoft app. You type it, or you use text app to type it. Prepare your assignment and forward to my personal wall, either on Telegram or in WhatsApp. Okay, before the next class. This is the time for questions. We have able to handle the definition of philosophy and ethics, the relationship between philosophy and theology and ethics, and biblical perspectives on philosophy and ethics. Then we have also presented key questions in philosophy and ethics, and we have given you an assignment. We have given you assignment to ensure you bring it next week Friday. But before we go, you need to ask questions. So you should ask questions. If you do not understand any part of it, you can ask questions now.